What is going on, guys? This is RP's me from the SKC, bringing you guys episode number 4 of the Changing the Aggression 2006 series. And I'm sorry, it's been a while since my last upload. It's almost been 2 weeks, and I'm sorry about that. We're gonna get on the grind again, once again. You know, just wrestling in school, an injury happened to me. I sprained. It's not really sprained. It's like broken, sort of. I don't feel like explaining it right now. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the second episode of SmackDown and the 4th episode of the Changing the Aggression 2006 series. And let's just get straight into the pre-show first of all. In an abysmal pre-show match, Crime Time defeated the full-blooded Italians in 4:36 when Shad defeated Nunzio by pinfall. And let's see how Crime Time did. Shad with a 19 and JTG with an 18. Wow, fantastic. I'm kidding, that's terrible. But they are going to keep on improving. I mean, their popularity isn't all that up, and their in-ring ability is not too good. So they should be improving from that. So I'm not too worried about that whatsoever. So overall, pretty decent stuff there. Vito and Nunzio did alright too. Not terrible. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the main show. Let's do this. Oh yeah, complete gimmick change. Cocky youngster for JTG got a very good, so very good. And then we have we kick off the show with the video recap of last week's brawl with Batista, Mysterio, JBL, and Booker T. So that whole brawl that we ended SmackDown with last week. So cool stuff there. And then we have a show intro and pyro as the announcers hype up tonight's SmackDown. So just a pyro and everything, and the announcers hyping it up. Cool stuff there. 43D, pretty bad, these guys. I mean, I don't really care. It's the announcers. And then we have a video recap of Mark Henry challenging Bobby Lashley last week to see who is the baddest on SmackDown. So just a recap video as we get into the Bobby Lashley versus Mark Henry match to find out who the baddest on SmackDown is. And let's find out who it's going to be. Let's just get straight into it. 61C, wasn't expecting awesome stuff, but that's decent, so I'll take it. In an extremely short match, Bobby Lashley defeated Mark Henry in 4:56 when Mark Henry intentionally got disqualified. So let's say that Bobby Lashley was doing super good in the match, and then Mark Henry just swung a chair at him. So that's how we end the match, with Mark Henry swinging a chair at him. But we have 2 improvements. Bobby Lashley's improving in Rumble skills, and Mark Henry in performance. Lashley with the 54, that's going up, and Mark Henry with the 62. So Mark Henry kind of not being, I had a word, but I lost the word. So let's just say that Mark Henry's being a coward. Yeah, I think that's it. Being a coward in this match, intentionally getting disqualified. But technically, Bobby Lashley ended up winning, so let's see how that goes. But Henry then hits Lashley with yet another chair shot, and hits a world's strongest slams and yells, "That's what I do." So Mark Henry, he just completely decimates Bobby Lashley here and just not playing any games. He's kind of mad. He thinks he's the baddest on SmackDown, and that's why that's what he does. That's what he is. So cool stuff there. 71C plus, pretty decent stuff there between Lashley and Mark Henry. Then we have a graphic hyping up the main event for tonight. We have Batista taking on JBL for the World Heavyweight Championship here tonight as we head into commercial break after that. So yeah, that's the main event for tonight. After the brawl last week, we have a World Heavyweight Championship match tonight after JBL defeated Kurt Angle defeated JBL. So yeah, but whatever. Let's just get into the next segment after commercial break. So Mark Henry is shown in his locker room after his match earlier with Bobby Lashley when Matt Hardy walks up to him. He says that what he did to Lashley earlier wasn't cool, and Henry ignores Matt. And Matt says that he better listen to him while he's talking. Then Henry pushes Matt, and they get into a brawl. And it has to be broken up by referees and security. So pretty big brawl backstage between Mark Henry and Matt Hardy there. So Matt Hardy just trying to stand up for Bobby Lashley, and sort of the entire SmackDown locker room saying it's not cool what Mark Henry did. But overall, cool stuff there. Not the best, but this should keep on going up. So cool stuff. And then Teddy Long comes out and makes his way to the ring with the mic and calls out the injured United States champion Booker T. Booker T then makes his way to the ring with his United States title, and Booker T asks Teddy what he wants from him. Teddy says that even though he is injured at the moment, he will be cleared to compete by the Royal Rumble time, and he will have to defend his United States championship. And the reason he called him out there is because there will be a battle royal to determine your opponent at the Royal Rumble, and he will be on commentary for the match. And that match is going to happen right now. And Booker T is not happy with that. So we're going to have a battle royal to determine Booker T's opponent for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Pretty good stuff here. As we head into a commercial break and we come back with the battle royal. Let's see how it does. 58C minus, pretty terrible, but I was not expecting it to be good, so pretty decent. In a poor match, Tommy Dreamer won a battle royal in 9:42. The other members of the final four were William Regal, Animal, Joey Mercury, with William Regal being the final elimination. Tommy Dreamer got the most eliminations over the course of the match, so Tommy Dreamer will face Booker T at the Royal Rumble for the United States Championship. Cool stuff. Juventud Guerrero is improving in performance. Simon Dean in flying, and Psychosis in performance, and Stevie Richards in flying as well. So cool stuff there. As Dreamer taunts Booker from the ring to the announce desk, as they will face off for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So yet another match announced for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, the United States Championship match between Tommy Dreamer and Booker T. Pretty cool stuff there. I'm excited to see how that one does at the pay-per-view. And then the camera cuts backstage as Todd Grissom is said to have an interview with Batista. He asks Batista about his title defense against JBL here tonight. Batista says that he is confident going into his match tonight, and he's confident that he will hold the World Heavyweight Championship all the way to WrestleMania and past it. So a pretty good interview there by Batista, 68C+. Batista did a masterful job, so do not have to worry about putting the mic on Batista there. But Todd Grissom, pretty terrible. So, but decent stuff there overall. Cool stuff by Batista and Todd Grissom with that interview. And we have a wrestling machine. Kurt Angle is shown walking backstage ahead of his match as we head into a commercial break, as Kurt Angle will have a match next. Let's see how this one does. 73B minus. Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, put Kurt Angle in there and you can get a good match. So in a decent match, Kurt Angle defeated Finlay in 6:19 by submission with an ankle lock. And this angle got the crowd hotter. Finlay with a 50 and Kurt Angle with an 86 and no worker improvement. So Kurt Angle really carried this match here. So good stuff from him. And Finlay, whatever. I don't really care. He should improve from that, I guess. I guess we'll have to find something to do with him because not too interested in what he's doing right now. But could find something for him, so don't worry about that if you're a fan of Finlay. But I mean, I'm a fan of his, but like, you know, I just don't have really anything to do with him. I don't think he's very important to me right now because he's a little old too, so, but whatever. Then Angle grabs a mic and says what he's going to do to Benjamin at the Royal Rumble. He's going to make him tap. So Kurt Angle talking trash to his Raw opponent at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, Shelton Benjamin. Pretty good stuff there, 75B minus. Alright, the next segment, Eminem, Mercury, Nitro, and Melina are shown talking in their locker room when Brian Kendrick and Paul London walk up to them. They say that they heard them say last week that there wasn't enough competition, and they say that they think there isn't any competition because they haven't faced them yet. Melina goes up to them and says if they want a match, they'll get one next week. So not entirely sure if it's a title match, but we know that Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro will face Brian Kendrick and Paul London next week. So the match is official. Pretty cool stuff there. As Goldust cuts a weird promo and hypes up his return match next as we head into a commercial break, and we will see Goldust make his in-ring return on SmackDown coming up right now. Wait, we cut to Teddy Long's office after the commercial break, and Teddy Long is in his office when Rey Mysterio walks in. Mysterio tells Teddy that he wants revenge on Randy Orton for trying to RKO him through a table last week. Teddy then says that he'll get his rematch against Orton at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in a tables match. So a pretty big match announced for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton in a tables match. So pretty excited for that one. Hopefully that one does pretty good. As we head into the Funaki Goldust match, in an extremely short match, Goldust defeated Funaki in 2 minutes by pinfall with the vertical release suplex. Goldust with a 59 and Funaki with the 45, and no worker improvements, but overall pretty decent match there as Goldust picks up the win in his return match. And the camera cuts to the announce desk, and they announce that Mark Henry will face Matt Hardy next week. So a pretty interesting match coming up next week. Let's see how that one does when it happens. And JBL is shown talking to Jillian Hall backstage ahead of JBL's world title shot next. So we have JBL Batista World Heavyweight Championship on the line coming up, you guys. Let's see how this one does as we head into a commercial break and we come back. And the Crime Time hype video for their debut coming soon on television. Their match on the pre-show was obviously not televised. It was on the pre-show, so they really haven't debuted on TV yet. So they had a hype video on them for TV as we head into the World Heavyweight Championship match. Let's see how this one does. Batista JBL World Heavyweight Championship. Let's do this. 60. Oh, God. That's terrible. I mean, that's not terrible, but like, it's not good. That sucks. So in a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Batista defeated JBL in 14:21 by pinfall with the Batista bomb. During the match, we also had Jillian Hall distract Batista. Batista makes defense number 1 of his WWE World Heavyweight title. They do not click, and it seemed to make an awkward bout. That's what it is. That's why this match was not too good. JBL had an in-ring performance of the 60 and Batista with the 63. And Batista's improving performance skills, so you can't be really too mad about that. Was that in front of a very hot crowd? Whatever. I guess they just didn't click, and that's what made for the not too good match. But you know what? It's whatever. Let's hopefully come back with this next segment. 86B plus to end the show. Batista celebrates after yet another successful world title defense when a dong hits and the lights go out. And the lights come back on and The Undertaker is in the ring and he hits a chokeslam on Batista and picks up his World Heavyweight title and takes a good look at it and drops it on Batista and celebrates to end Friday Night SmackDown. So pretty big way to end the show. Undertaker standing over Batista, holds up his World Heavyweight title. What a way to end SmackDown. I mean, that's a pretty big way. So, I like the show. Do I think we're going to have the storyline penalty again? Yes. But, yeah, actually, I'm scared to see what the show got. I'm really scared. Let's just see how it does. Let's just see. 75B minus? No storyline penalty? Wow. I'm happy with that. 75B minus. That's the best show yet. The show lost its popularity in 11 regions, though. I guess if we would have had a decent main event, then this would have actually gained us popularity, but I'm happy with it. We have 2 storylines with 77B heat. Let's hope we do not mess that up as we head into the Rumble in 2 weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in episode 5, and this is RP's me from the SKC, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
The New World Order.